Harper One and HarperAudio present Women Who Wear Only Themselves, 4 Travelers on Their Sacred Journeys by Arundhathi Subramaniam. Read by Snehamathan. People, male and female, blush when a cloth covering their shame comes loose. When the Lord of Lives lives drowned without a face in the world, how can you be modest? When all the world is the eye of the Lord, onlooking everywhere, what can you cover and conceal? Akka Mahadevi, translated by A.K. Ramanujan. Home. Give me a home that isn't mine, where I can slip in and out of rooms without a trace, never worrying about the plumbing, the color of the curtains, the cacophony of books by the bedside. A home that I can wear lightly, where the rooms aren't clogged with yesterday's conversations, where the self doesn't bloat to fill in the crevices. A home like this body, so alien when I try to belong, so hospitable when I decide I'm just visiting. Author's note. Sometimes when I look out at the 18th floor window of this Manhattan apartment, I wonder in some amazement at how I landed up here. Landed up is not quite the mot juste, I'm aware. I'm a seasoned enough traveler to know that. It's just that life has a way of changing the scenery in ways that never cease to startle. Strangely, one of my earliest life memories is also of a window. Through its spacious geometry, patterned by an ornate cursive grille, I looked out at a vast peepal tree and a distant smudge of ocean. I wondered then, too, at how I landed up there. That was accompanied by a sadness that I could not name. It is a sadness 3-year-olds know well. When I wrote the poem Home that opens this book, the year was 2003. I had no idea how prescient the poem would prove to be. But poems, I've found, are invariably smarter than I am. I believed at the time that my life was reasonably settled, or at least somewhat settled in its unsettlement. I lived in a high-octane harbor city of many names, Bombay, Mumbai, Bombay. I had work, an address, a partner, 3 cats. I spent my life wandering the beguiling hysteria of the city streets, inhaling its smoggy air, meeting friends over coffees and poetry readings, where we gnashed our teeth over cultural politics, gender injustice, bad art, our great, messy subcontinent of demons. None of us was particularly at ease in our own skins, but we called that being edgy. Perhaps we even derived an identity from all that unease. And yet, a niggling sense of being an imposter in a bodysuit never quite went away. Some days I felt like I was in costume. Other days, in armor, clunky but necessary. I knew, too, that even chainmail, helmet, and saber wouldn't prepare me for the crazy, seething big city I lived in. The bodysuit had its moments. Roleplay, I found, could even be exhilarating. But behind it was a hunger. A mounting, nameless hunger for something more, something deeper, truer. Less heavy, less changeable. My home, my tribe, my garment, myself. Nothing original about any of that, of course, but I didn't know that at the time. And so my closet life began. By day, I was a poet, writer, journalist, curator. In the dark womb of the closet, I was a desperate, undignified seeker. Poetry offered insight. Reading philosophy offered consolation. My love of theater and dance offered beauty. But all those churning questions about truth, loss, perishability, and unbelonging were gathering momentum. And an unexplained near-death experience, a kind of crash course in emptiness in 1997, gave those questions greater urgency. I turned to reading the mystics. The only ones who spoke of this indefinable hunger in a way that resonated. It was an
Sample complete. Ready to continue?